When you look up in a sprawling airport terminal or like a high-end restaurant, you usually just see these flat, pristine white ceiling tiles. But hiding directly above your head are these highly engineered acoustic ninjas.
Yeah, they really are hidden in plain sight.
Right. So today we're taking a deep dive into the blueprints of one of these hidden devices. We actually found a really fascinating spec sheet on HDTVSupply, which is a vendor with over 10,000 positive reviews, by the way.
Oh, wow. That is a lot of reviews.
Yeah, they know their stuff. It's for the QSC AD-C4T ceiling speaker. We want to figure out how architects manage to pump boarding announcements and, mood music through a totally crowded room without you ever seeing the source.
Well, the first hurdle here is just purely visual. I mean, architects designing modern spaces want completely unbroken, flawless ceilings.
Right, they hate visual clutter.
Exactly. They absolutely refuse to sacrifice that clean aesthetic. But at the same time, they just can't compromise on audio quality.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because usually, trying to hide a speaker means you end up, compromising the sound. But this QSC model looks almost entirely flush.
Yeah, it really does.
It uses this zero-bezel design and a magnetic grille that just sort of snaps right into place. It even has a removable logo, so there are literally zero blemishes. I mean, it's built like a stealth bomber, meticulously designed to execute a mission without drawing the eye.
What's fascinating here is how it physically achieves that stealth. It uses something they call a 3x double-stepped blind mount system.
A blind mount system.
Yeah. This mechanism actively locks the unit perfectly tight into the ceiling tile, making it, well, practically vanish right into the architecture.
But hiding a speaker inside a ceiling tile creates a pretty massive physics problem, right? Like you're shoving vibrating components into this tiny, confined space.
Oh, definitely.
So how does a compact, like 4.5-inch speaker actually cut through the sheer chaos of a bustling train station without just rattling the ceiling to pieces or, sounding totally muffled?
It really comes down to the materials and the geometry. Inside that tiny footprint, you have a weather-treated paper cone woofer handling the low-end frequencies.
Okay.
And then a 0.75-inch aluminum dome tweeter for the highs. It can actually push out a sound pressure level of 108 decibels.
Wow, that is seriously loud.
It is. But the real magic is how it directs that sound using a 150-degree DMT waveguide.
Wait, a waveguide? I have to admit, that sounds a bit like a Star Trek deflector shield or something.
It kind of does sound like sci-fi, yeah.
So what does this all mean for you when you're just trying to hear a boarding announcement over a noisy crowd?
Well, normally, high-pitched sounds shoot straight down like a laser beam. That creates a really loud hotspot right directly under the speaker.
Oh, yeah, I've noticed that before.
Right. So the DMT, or directivity match transition waveguide, acts like a perfectly engineered acoustic funnel. It scatters those frequencies evenly across a massive 150-degree cone.
Okay, so it spreads it out.
Exactly. So the person standing 10 feet away hears the exact same uniform clarity.
Yeah.
From 70 hertz to 20 kilohertz is the person standing directly underneath it. Literally no audio dead zones.
That makes perfect sense for getting clear sound to a crowd. But I have a hard time wrapping my head around the business side of this. Like, this exact same pair of $530 speakers is used in tiny, intimate boutiques, but also in sprawling, miles-long airport terminals. How does one piece of hardware handle two totally different environments?
That versatility relies really heavily on its built-in 7800-volt multi-tap transformer.
Hold on, a transformer? I thought transformers were those, like, massive gray cans on neighborhood power lines. Why on earth does a little ceiling speaker need one?
Think of a massive airport audio system like a miles-long garden hose. If you just pump standard low-impedance audio through thousands of feet of cable, the speakers at the very end will get this pathetic little trickle of sound.
Or the power loss, right.
Exactly, due to power loss. The 70-volt transformer cranks up the electrical pressure so the audio can travel massive distances without degrading.
Got it.
Then, at each individual speaker, the multi-tap feature lets installers essentially tap that power back down to usable levels like 30 watts, 15, or even 7.5.
Here's where it gets really interesting. It's essentially acting like a car's gearbox.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, you can shift gears to run a massive daisy-chained airport network at those higher voltages, or just bypass the transformer completely, like for a standard 16-ohm high-fidelity setup in a standalone restaurant.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's really all about ultimate scalability.
Yeah.
Add in QSYS software integrations like their intrinsic correction voicings, and it's totally customizable.
So they can tweak it digitally.
Exactly. Installers can digitally tune the exact same piece of hardware to perfectly match the unique acoustics of completely different rooms.
Wow. So to wrap this up, the next time you are sitting in an airport terminal or, enjoying a meal at a nice restaurant,
Yep.
just take a second to look up.
Highly recommended.
Those seemingly simple white circles above you are actually highly adaptable $530 acoustic ninjas. They're meticulously engineered to pump out perfectly distributed sound with absolute minimum visibility.
Yeah, they are actively shaping your environment, directing your attention, and setting the atmosphere, all without you ever realizing they are there doing the heavy lifting.
Which leaves you with this to chew on. If audio technology is now this invisible and this meticulously engineered to manipulate your public experiences, what other unseen structural designs are quietly shaping your mood right now?